David and Tana Parker. Thanks for showing up. We had a few cancellations, but we made it.
Yeah.
Right.
First quarter's always seems to be crazy with everybody.
Of course.
Especially starting up a new business and all of that fun stuff that's been going on. So, well, what's new? Tell us about who you are and kind of what you got going on. You can start, David. I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Yeah. Saving the best for last.
So we're just a family out of Boise, Idaho. We moved up here probably, a year and a half ago, something like that. And I was a recruiter in the Guard, and just doing that for the last year, whatever, and decided that it wasn't for me anymore. So we decided to start up a meal prep company.
Okay. Yeah, crazy time for the military side too. Like I could see where it wasn't working out, and doing COVID stuff would be, especially recruiting.
Yeah,
I'm sure getting somebody to join at that point when it's like military bad,
right,
is got to be insane.
The last year and a half, it was definitely a struggle for the recruiting side, because the pandemic started when I was over in Boise, and then transferring over here, it didn't help at all.
No. Do you know Sergeant Pack?
I do.
Yeah. He'd come in with recruiting, and he went from kind of always talking about it to got real silent, and finally I asked him like, what's going on? And he's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like they're up my ass about it every day, and I don't know what to do. But I realize it's not just the Army, or not just the National Guard, or not. It's every military branch right now. It's like trying to get people to come be a police officer.
Exactly.
At that point,
yep.
and it's just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine. And Tana, what brought you over here besides TRICARE?
Right. Well, married to this guy over here. So right before we moved, we just had Rosalind, so she was 3 months old, and he just told me, he's like, I'm just kind of tired of this area. Like, I want to move and get a fresh start. And we decided Twin Falls. We're like, it's 2 hours away. It's not too bad. So we moved over here. He's still in the military full time working. And we started meal prepping on the side for just his coworkers and some friends. And everyone we had really good feedback. They said, your meals are incredible. They're like, you guys should start a business. And so that seed got planted in our head. And then last July, he reached out to Dustin and Haley, the owners of MEP Meals in Meridian. And then we just talked and connected them, and then we just got the ball rolling from there.
Cool. And so you moved here for the fresh start, and you have, how many kids do you have?
We have two.
Two.
So our son is almost 6, and our daughter is almost 2.
Awesome. And how long have you guys been together?
Almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Married
We'll
for
pass
almost 4
the
years.
test. All right. You guys must talk about it on the car ride home. They're here. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. There's been a couple meal prep companies that I've noticed that were here before you guys.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Early stages, but why do you think those companies didn't last?
From everybody that I've talked to, they just tried blowing up way too fast. So they couldn't fulfill the meals. They just got overexcited about the business, trying to, again, grow it too fast, and they just drew themselves in the ground. With us, we're starting off slow, so anybody who's tried to order the last 3 weeks, like they probably noticed that Sundays, we've had to cut it off because we don't want to grow it so fast that we can't get the orders out. Yeah. So every week we're growing by 25 or 50 meals until we hit a certain point where we're either struggling a little bit or we just need to take some time. And it might frustrate some people, but we're trying to honestly just get our footing in the ground so we don't end up like those companies.
Yeah.
And with the training that we got from Dustin and Haley, I think that we're good.
Yeah.
And working at home too.
I don't know him well, but I see him at bodybuilding competitions and stuff, and he's always super friendly, and obviously he's willing to help. And he was a cook, right? He's a chef, right?
Yeah, he
So
actually
he is a
went to
chef,
school
yeah.
for it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Awesome.
So he's a chef and has his degree in business, so it's like he's the real deal. So we learned from him, and like he was already a good cook, but everything that we're using since we franchise, it's Dustin's recipes, and then David's cooking them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he was.
Okay.
You did what?
Something's wrong with the TV.
Something's wrong with the TV?
Yes.
Well,
We
Is your
tried
laptop-
everything then because there was like one crime show on
Hey.
it.
Try to keep
Anybody
the
who
door
has kids, the TV stopped working is an emergency. So I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an emergency as it gets. Yeah, they
It's
is
stu-
that or
so-
they ran out of a cup of water.
It's stuff like that that actually makes working at home very less stressful because while I'm cooking in the kitchen or we're prepping or something like that, if they come yelling, then we're like, okay, cool, go fix it. It's a 2-minute fix.
Yeah,
and then
it's
we
normally
Not a
I can
phone
just go
call,
in.
Wait till your
Exactly.
dad gets home, kind of thing.
Exactly right. I'm
Yeah.
not receiving a phone call of an emergency.
Well, and that's just real life stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
and anybody who's been in here know that my kids are always running around here too. This place,
Right.
I always say, "Welcome to Stewart Daycare." We also sell supplements.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I think there's a lot of people who understand that, and it's fun. It's fun, and you miss those things. They're frustrating, but I think we'll all miss that.
Like when I was
Yeah.
on the phone the other day,
Yeah.
I had to take like literally 5-minute phone calls, super easy. I locked the kids out of the office, they're screaming, and then it was quiet. So I'm like, oh, they found some toys. No, Rosalind found markers
Yes.
all over the wall, all over everywhere. And we have magic erasers, so it was okay. But,
Oh, good.
but
Yeah, ours
that
wasn't
just
as bad.
working
Super
at
Bowl
home.
Sunday, they found chalk, and so the whole stairwell,
Oh.
which is just painted
Your kids
walls.
eat it? My kids eat it. Like they
Macy
love to eat
eats,
chalk.
the 1-year-old meat, but there's nothing she doesn't put in her mouth. I'm amazed
Yeah.
at what she can eat, or why she would choose to eat it, or continue to eat it. Actually, is the
Yeah,
it's like
right.
Rosalind
you can put
Like,
it in your mouth
is
and
it
try it.
good?
And like,
Yeah.
that's bad, and then move
Popsicle.
along.
Right, no.
Like, no, that's a pine cone,
Yeah.
and you've eaten half a pine cone. And it's
Just wait till it comes out.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it does.
Gross.
Yeah. Morning. Yeah. So we should probably lock that. Sorry. Could you grab that and then lock the door on the way out, please? Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yo, you're good.
We'll get through all of this. I
Yeah.
swear. We are gonna
Kids.
actually check the editing skills of Bree. Here, sounds good.
That's the guy with the beard that I was talking to.
Oh, I was just looking at it. I'm like, you're checking out his beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
First one that's been here ever. I think. So,
Well, now that he's on the military, like right when he took his leave, he had vacation leave. Literally, like 3 months. It was like this big at Thanksgiving. So fluffy.
Were you here? Were you here for that?
For what?
With the leave when you did she's talking about your beard. I think I saw that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I was
we were
I was a hermit for a little bit.
Yeah, we were eating up his vacation time and like getting the business started.
Shut that door and keep it closed.
Rosalind, you guys stay in there, please.
We're gonna keep going. We got it. No matter what.
Oh shit!
She closed it.
I know. I just want to make sure there's no fingers in the door.
I
So I
made
was
sure.
like,
I was looking.
Yeah. So when you do the meal prepping thing, you said you're trying to basically pace yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you've talked to me about some struggles that in the beginning, missing ingredients in certain recipes. 10-hour braise turned into like 14 days or whatever
Right.
you said, and so it's trial and error too. And so if you can control it with 350 meals, you don't have to control it with 800 meals.
Exactly.
And that's huge. I've noticed too that early there was it's an idea of marketing, and it's the idea of you feel good because you can give to people. And so these other companies were constantly had these sponsors, right? They were giving out these free meals, and then they started getting out free meals to where they were it was costing them money each month over the meals that they were doing. And so did Dustin talk to you about that stuff, just to kind of be mindful, or is that something that you just, as you guys move along, you just be mindful of? And
I've been mindful of it since we started, because when we were just doing it as a hobby, we broke down, every gram, like what's it costing for like the tri-tip, the chicken, turkey, because that's just the 3 that we were doing. We broke every meal down to what we were making off that meal. And so we knew how much we were losing if we just gave out free meals.
Yeah.
So we brought that over to this one, and this side it's a little bit more expensive because we're using a little bit more expensive stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously you always have to give money, give whatever into the business to receive later on.
Yes.
And so right now we're not too worried about giving out free meals. Meal prep in this area is a necessity. We just want to get our name out there. Like, that's what we're trying to do. I think once people hear our name and just hear the reviews that we already have, it'll just come.
I think you're right. The hardest part with meal prep, I think, one, there's a ton of overhead, right? And it's overhead. I've got 2-year shelf lives.
Yeah.
You don't use something for a couple days or something sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, a gallon of milk's not going to last 2 years when you're cooking with it. Or
Exactly.
whatever. And retention for people is, I would assume, hard. There are customers that come in here that I've seen since day one, 12 years ago. You're not going to have that retention just because people will use your services during meal prep, during busy times, during times of motivation, during times of laziness, maybe if they don't want to cook, but those things will come and go. You might see them off and on. I would assume that it'd be hard to always know that, hey, we're going to max out these meals, or but is there a way that you guys are kind of preparing for just high turnover? Obviously volume is the goal, right?
Right.
Well, so we've had a lot of repeat customers so far, so that's been really exciting. I would say maybe 75% of them are repeat customers, and then the other percentage is new people each week, like trying us out. So,
Okay.
So
far
it's been
so good.
Yeah.
It's been early, right? We're a month in.
Yeah,
3
almost
weeks.
one.
So we're open for our 4th ordering week right now. So we fulfilled 3 order dates.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks at the beginning, because if we do get this same repeat, then we're not getting new people trying our stuff. But we do have probably a consistent of 4 or 5 new people every week for the last 3 weeks that are trying, and then we see their name the next week. So it is nice.
And it's a compliment to you, I guess.
Right.
If you see them again, you're like, oh, cool. They know what they're getting, they know what they're paying for, and they're doing it again.
Yep, exactly.
There is so we use Instagram and we push out all that stuff, and we push out statistics and facts. We have a really good marketing person who does a lot of research on this stuff, and she did research on what the percentage of people going out to eat rather than cooking at home nowadays. The percentage is a lot lower than what it was even 5 years ago. So people are constantly going out, whether it's trying to eat healthy at a healthy or fast food place, right? Or they're going to McDonald's or doing whatever.
Or trying to eat healthy at Texas Roadhouse.
Exactly, right?
Outback,
So
Can't
they
do that
are
with the
going
rolls.
out. So what we're trying to tell people is, this isn't cutting into your grocery budget. This is supplementing your grocery budget. Budget.
Yeah.
So if you guys use the money that you would normally use for groceries, use it towards us. It's already cooked. So when you get home from your 9-to-5 job, you don't have to worry about cooking the next hour. Spend time with your kids, warm up the food either on a skillet or in the microwave, and you just cut like 45 minutes of your day to an hour of your day, and now you get to spend more time with your kids.
Do you have those numbers available? Like, if somebody wanted to look at some raw numbers?
We could probably find it. I don't have it on me right now.
Okay. Do you know them by chance?
I don't.
Okay. We should find those. I think it would be huge. I think it would be good for people to see, because that's typically the argument.
Yeah.
Right? It's cheaper to run through the window at McDonald's when, man, it's $12 every. I went and got. I did not eat yesterday. I got my wife and the 2 older kids chicken sandwiches, and then the 3 younger kids Happy Meals yesterday, and it was 48 something.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy.
I didn't eat.
It's not what it was 10 years ago, or
Yeah,
even
it's
15 years
not.
ago. Like the dollar menu is now $2.50.
The $1, $2, $3 or something. Yeah.
And like our biggest thing was they were advertising a Big Mac meal or whatever for $18. Well, I don't know what's in that, but I know that the macros are horrible.
It only fed 2 people.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a family meal, but
and the fries or something. Or,
but it was only 2 people, so it was almost $20, so about $10 a person. And like for our meals, like our average meal is like $9.50, but you can still get them cheaper. So the only drawback is, yes, our meals you have to order ahead and plan. You can't just like run through. We don't have an MEP Meals drive-through.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'll admit. Like, okay, we're not as convenient as McDonald's, but we're sure a hell of a lot better for your body and for your budget in the long run.
you and I kind of talked about it. So, so your pickup location is here.
Yes.
Right. So we've got a cooler that's here, and every Wednesday you show up, you fill the cooler, and then the people that are picking up their meals pick it up here. Is there ever going to be a time where there's 50 extra meals that you bring in on a Monday and they're just here and people can purchase them and make it as convenient as, say, McDonald's, or you can run in and out in less than a minute? I mean, is that ever going to be in the works, you think?
So once it got, like we talked about earlier, once I get down the preparation and all that stuff, or for filling the meals, once I know that there's going to be extra, like meat and stuff like that, and it's not like going down to the last gram or whatever it is, last ounce, yes, I'm definitely going to produce more and then start selling it here or wherever, right? Right now, this is the only pickup location. So yes, you and I did talk about that, and
It's in the works. You never know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the answer is not no.
Nope.
And so that leads to, right now maybe it isn't as convenient as McDonald's,
but it
very well could be more convenient too at some point. I mean, you can come in and out of here in less than a minute easily.
Yeah.
And have something ready to go. Have you ever air fried your reheated meals, or is that an option, you think?
I think air frying would dry it out because it's already cooked. So air frying is for raw material, or like chicken nuggets that.
Because you said, said a microwave or what?
Or
just
skillet.
On the stove.
Skillet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like some people, they want to add more fat, right?
For
so if
keto,
for keto, so if they just put some oil down, reheat it that way, they have the time, right? It's not cooking because it's already cooked, just reheating with the oil that's in it, then you can kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Do you guys customize meals?
There's a customized option.
There's an option?
Yeah.
At a fee, of course, right?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Yeah. You just go to our website, and we have 4 options. One is the preset. The second one is a fast pack, which is just randomized, or you pick whatever it is for the next week. Subscription, it's auto or manual. The auto is just money coming out, like if you want it regularly, weekly, or manually, you go in there and you pick the meals that you want, and then, or if the meals are already there, then it's already coming out that way.
Okay.
And then the customized, where you go in, you pick the protein, you pick the carb, or if you don't want carb, you can do double veggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 65 preset options, so we have a pretty big menu. So if people don't like anything from the 65 presets, then they can do the custom, or So it's like we have a big variety.
Good.
And on the preset menu, you can also just put in like chicken or steak or bison or whatever you want, and break it down by that, so you don't have to actually scroll through the whole
scroll
thing.
through the whole menu.
Yeah. I had most of your meals so far, and they don't taste like a meal prep meal, right? And I think that's kind of what you guys are going for.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes. You can if you put your stuff on a plate, it's a meal.
Yeah, it's a real meal.
If you throw it on a plate and throw a little parsley on something,
right.
like it's a meal, and that's really neat. And I do think you're right. The Magic Valley needs convenient, good food.
Yeah.
Healthy food.
And I think right now a lot of people, like, we have 300 some followers on Instagram, but I think they're just waiting for us to fizzle out like everybody else. But once we're here for a year or 2 years or 3 years, then that's when we're going to see like the big bulk of people, because they're going to be like, oh, these guys are here for the long.
Yes. Well, and it's nice to have support from Dustin. It's nice to have support from I guess that would make them the corporation, right?
Yeah.
The franchisor, or but that's really good too, because there's a fallback method to where if you're in a tight spot, or if you don't know how to handle a situation, you have somebody who's clearly probably handled the same situation.
I ask him weekly about questions that are just coming up or whatever, and he probably gets annoyed, but he answers
or
it, and I'm like,
really
okay.
loves it, because he knows, I mean, if you fail, he fails.
Right.
So
No,
so
they're really supportive. Like I said, that's the whole point of the franchise agreement, is like it's their name and their brand that they worked really hard to build. So like I said, they don't want to see us fail, and like they are our support system. And for the most part, they're here to answer our questions, but the other part is just us learning how to figure it out. Like it really is trial and error for us as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you know Dustin?
I've known him for about 8 years.
How so?
I just walked into Jack's Nutrition one day because I saw it, and we just talked, and he seemed like a really nice guy. It wasn't like a long conversation, but over 6 years of going in there constantly just buying the stuff, like,
Because you were from the Boise area.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Then him and I just developed a friendship. Then I eventually added him on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And once I saw him starting to actually do his meal prep thing, I actually asked him questions. And the really cool thing was that he would just, like, if it was about ingredients or anything, he would literally just tell me. Like, he wouldn't be like, hey man, just buy our stuff.
Yeah.
He wouldn't push his product. He would push you trying to actually make your own meals. And if it worked out, then he supported you.
Yeah.
And that's how this worked too, was I literally asked him, like, hey man, how did you start this? Like, do you have any, like, suggestions, hints, anything like that? And he started giving them. Then he's like, hey man, the first place that we're going to franchise is in Twin Falls. Would you like that? And
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
good on him. And, I sent you that message earlier, and that's exactly what I was touching on. I mean, if you're giving out the information, I mean, him giving out information built value in Dustin more than almost MEP Meals, right? And
Exactly.
so it made you, so when he says, hey, we're going to franchise, you're like, heck yeah. Like, let me jump on board with this guy because he knows what he's doing. And, and I know that you don't want to be flooded and bombarded. You guys got a million things to do with, hey, how do I make these meals? But I would assume that if they have some simple questions for you as well, you would be willing to help somebody out kind of on some basic needs for sure. But at the end of the day, just buy the meals too. Right?
The main thing is I want people to realize that cooking for yourself, it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be like a burden. Like, if you make something out of nothing, like, obviously you're not making the meat, but if you make that meat or veggie or whatever delicious, then that's all that matters. If you can do that, you feel some sort of pride, accomplishment, right? I mean, that's what got me into doing it. I've been meal prepping for like 15 years. So
You think you'll get burnt out?
I don't think so, because it's very exciting. So every day, the last 3 weeks, Tana can attest to this. I'm on my phone looking at the menus, just excited about how many people are ordering, just from new people, from old people, like old customers, whatever, right? I just get excited about it because it's people that love my food. Like,
so, it's everybody that orders, especially repeats, is just a compliment to your food.
Yeah, our first week we had somebody order 20 meals. I'm like, how does someone order something that they've never tried before?
Yeah, people put a lot of trust in us.
Crazy.
Good. Well, and because the companies that were here before, they were good companies as well. I ended up getting to know most of them, and the people and the food was good, and so I think they've already trusted. Unknowingly, they've trusted meal prep companies that have come in here because it does help. It's just, I think that it's user error why some companies don't last, or I think there's been one or two where people just got burnt out. I think there's a lot. I think you'll start to notice a lot of people. I work out, sponsor me.
Right.
Give me free food. And so, I mean, I think the constant beatdown of stuff like that, when people forget that you are a small business, can be taxing a lot of times. And so I think sometimes there's people that just throw their hands up and look for something new, and you don't blame them. But if you're ready for it, and you stop those kind of bleats before they really start to get out of hand, I think there's
one thing that Dustin and Haley both harped on since we met with them first was, not every person's a customer. Not everybody is the person that you want to appease to. And it's always the people that are asking for free meals without even trying your meals, or without even purchasing, without even doing anything. Those are the people that they're not going to buy your meals regardless. Once you stop giving them free meals, because for whatever reason, like whether it's us financially or we're just outgrowing them or whatever, they're going to stop eating our meals. The person that I would actually be more interested in, like, giving free meals out in the future is the people that's been with us and been supporting us since day one.
And because you would want to do that.
Exactly.
It's the same people who come in here 5 days a week and ask for a free sample, but they've never been put in the system, But if you're a customer, I'll give you a container of something, or I'll give you, it's the things you want to do, and it's a balance. And there's some people who don't understand small business, and you can't blame them for that. And there's going to be everybody who takes advantage of a system. And
There's-
whatever system you have,
Yeah.
people are going to find the loophole in it. And until you close the loophole,
Yep.
they're going to exploit it. And sometimes you got to thank them for that
Yeah.
too, you know. When you were in the military, did you guys do a lot of traveling? So you were doing the meal prepping? Or
No.
like, what started the meal prepping while you were in the military? Because you said you prepped your own meals.
So just working out, like everybody falls into the theory that you always have to work out and you build the muscles in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Well, later on, I figured out, it's 80-20. 80% it's meals, right? If your meal's not on,
eating.
then whatever you do in the gym, you're either just burning your fat or you're not burning muscle because you're just burning the fat, right? Or you're not burning the fat, you're burning the muscle,
Daddy,
right? If you're
can I be in the same color on the board?
No, you're going to fall if you do that. We're going to be done in about 5 minutes, all right?
Okay.
Hang in there.
Take.
Can I get in the sink and color on the board?
Yeah.
I should have said yes. I don't know what it meant. I should have said yes and just seen how it went.
I was trying to
I've got
picture
cameras.
it.
And then they're
And
gonna
I-
put. I can see them putting rosin up in
Yeah.
the sink. They're like,
Oh,
"Oh, you
yeah.
want to color with
I
this?"
saw that. I saw the whole thing going real bad. But that would have been good for camera footage.
Yes,
Even fun
yes,
back there.
definitely. Money,
Um,
most funny videos,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I'm sure 8 things have already happened back there.
Oh yeah, probably.
We can figure it out.
But no, I was prepping for myself, and I whether it was living with my parents or living on my own. Like I always did my own meal prepping, whether I worked at Lowe's or whatever thing. So even before the military, I was doing it. Then when I got in the military, we just had to stay physically fit, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well this gives me a reason to eat healthy, do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then when I saw how big of a need it was over in Boise, I came over here to a smaller place that's
You're like, "It doesn't
5 to
have it."
10. Yeah, it was,
There's nothing,
and
yeah.
everybody's telling us that we're about 5 or 10 years behind the Boise area. So I'm like, yeah, that probably comes to meal prep too.
Yeah.
And I asked every like a ton of people in the community, and everybody's like, yeah, that's a need around here.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to bring it here, but
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had somebody grab your hand and
Exactly.
say, I'll show you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he literally drug me
happens
through
for a reason.
everything.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's really cool.
yeah.
So when are you going to Ukraine to help protect against Russia?
I'm not.
Oh.
No, I'm in the process of getting out of the military.
Oh.
So I don't have to deal with that part anymore.
Good. So prior military.
I thought you were like, yeah.
I was waiting. I mean, because you were like, actually, next month, Tana
Yeah.
is in control of everything. That would have been a really good.
No.
Just shot
Yeah,
in
no.
the dark. I didn't
Yeah.
know how that would work out, but I was just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So are you happy to be out of the military? I mean, is that?
So I'm not fully out of it just yet, but yes, like I've been more happy in the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Just spending time with my family, not having to worry about just being a pawn in a
Yeah.
big game anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's just it. Like the military, like it's very family oriented, and I gained a lot. And I say that very loosely. I've gained a lot of great friends in it, but there are some instances where, like they say they preach family, but if that's how they treat their family, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Like 'cause they literally
it's all
throw you
about
to the
family
wolves.
until they need something done.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it's about them.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a non-military guy, but I see it from the outside.
But civilians know it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
more kids, everything is blown up on the internet now, everything like that. And so that's why recruiting is even harder, because they read everything that's on the internet, whether it's true or not. As a recruiter, you're supposed to like tell them like, oh, don't believe that. But in your heart, you're like, it's true.
There's a reason it's
like,
sitting out
yeah,
there. Yeah.
like there's a reason why.
But and
Things
you
have
know,
been said.
I mean, and the last thing you're doing and I would do is knock the military, right?
Yeah,
And
no,
say
I'm not
it's-
knocking the military at all.
And
it's
what
very
they do
helpful.
and what you've done and what everybody's done is insanely honorable. But it is hard, and especially you start going through this COVID stuff and everything's locked down, nobody's moving. Once you're out, you can't come in. You got, you're spending holidays and everything in these shithole places,
Yeah.
and I couldn't, me sitting here on my comfortable couch or in my living room going, "Whoa, that must suck," but
Right.
people are living in it every day,
Yeah.
and so the people that are still saying, "Yep, I'm going." My cousin just went. He
Yeah.
just finished up in the Navy. I call it boot camp, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And it's just, I would argue, maybe more honorable to go today than it would be even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because, things are a mess, and we're not even doing anything.
Right.
We're not.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody really coming at us super
Nope.
hard, and when it's just an absolute
Yeah.
mess, and I'm really glad that there are people still
Yeah.
stepping up to do that. And I think if you saw that, then good for them. But long enough. You've been around with 2 kids and a wife, and now a business.
The military has always just been a stepping stone for me. Like, I always respected everybody for what they did and what they went through. Like, I did 11 years.
Wow.
It's just time for me to get out. It was never a lifelong dream of mine to be in the military, and it is for some people. And if that's for them, then that's for them. For me, it wasn't. So, like, if you want to be in the military, that's great. Like, I support that. Like, as a recruiter, like, I love those people. I loved it. Trying to convince people to join, though, for a paycheck, that's something that I don't love.
Yeah.
And that's why even with our food, like, we're not trying to get you to buy our food because we think you need it. We're trying to show you that it's very convenient and it's a lot healthier option
And if you
than
need it,
everything
we're
else
here.
that you're getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
And we're local.
Yeah. Yeah. You built a kitchen.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I heard that was super easy.
No. we went backwards.
How did we go over that part? We totally
Yeah, we totally skipped over
kitchen.
that. So we built the kitchen in our garage. We have a 3-car garage, and originally when we were thinking about it, we were only going to put it in the 3rd bay so we could still park our vehicles in. Like, we were just going to block it off. No way.
No way that works.
We originally had 2 fridges, well, a fridge and a freezer. Second week, we instantly figured out that we needed another fridge. So.
And you still are short some.
Yeah.
Like, right? I
Yep.
mean, you still need to figure out where you're going to put more fridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
so yeah, we just paid for electrical last week to get more outlets, and because since we maxed out our orders for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it like filled up our whole fridge,
Yeah.
and so now we have the second fridge, and we can double our growth, and it was quite the challenge though to build our kitchen because for months we were calling realtors, we were talking to all these small businesses. I probably called over 40 people to like rent a kitchen from them, and everybody said no. So at first we were really upset. We're like, well, this sucks, we're supposed to have our business, but it really was a blessing in disguise. So we just converted our whole garage, we got licensed, went through all of those hoops.
So,
and
when it comes to city codes and everything, by the book,
Yep.
I mean.
Yeah, we just got
We have every
a special
license that
use
we need,
permit, and so our whole garage, like we have it walled off. It's like, so when you walk in, like it's a kitchen,
Yeah.
and then we don't park in the garage anymore. It's just full kitchen.
Yeah.
So.
If you actually want to see the process, it's on our Instagram. There's like a little story about it where it
Yeah, with
goes
some
from like the
videos.
beginning, where there's like a hole for a drain,
Yeah,
Okay.
cut through the
to
cement.
what it is now with 2 fridges, a freezer, a big oven, and multiple tables.
That's really
And then
cool.
our
And,
Culver
the Instagram is MEP Meals. Is that or is it Twin Falls?
MEP Meals Twin Falls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's for Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, just have those two.
Okay. Yeah.
What to
No,
say.
that's. I think a lot of people want to see that.
Yeah.
I think another thing that's really grown here is just health and safety of anything that goes on. So people are make sure that you're not in some slouch
Right.
kitchen, and like.
No, I was like, it's real. Trust me.
Macaroni in one hand with the kids, and then you're trying to cook chicken in the other, and it's
No.
falling on the floor.
Yeah. No, I actually tell everybody that our kitchen is a certified commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be in our garage. We followed every code. We have all the chemicals, like car chemicals and all that stuff in our shed. Our vehicles don't even go in there at all anymore.
It's not a garage anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's not.
Nope.
That would be funny. Start the car.
Yeah,
in the garage.
right. Why does our food taste like exhaust?
Yeah.
That's a
Definitely-
special flavoring.
Definitely all
Shoot.
separate. It's nice to have a 10-foot commute to work. Just go to the garage.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a little cold in there right now.
Yeah,
But-
but that's why we need the extra outlet so we could
Get
do
our
the
heaters
heater
and
correctly.
our,
Yeah.
Oh, by the time you get that hooked up, you're gonna have to figure out where to put the AC. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming, and I think the whole Magic Valley is super excited to see this grow. If you guys need to order it all, it's mepmeals.com.
Yes.
Right, and then once you get in there, you'll choose your kitchen,
Yep.
and then you choose the Twin Falls section, and order your meals from there. It's pretty easy, step-by-step process. If you have any questions, you can message us here, and we'll relay the message, or easier, message MEP Meals just on Instagram or Facebook.
MEP Meals, Twin Falls.
Twin Falls,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. And we, on our social media, I have our contact info saved. So I have our email, and then my number's up there if people want to text or call me. So.
Awesome. She prefers middle of the night, so text her after 2 a.m.
Yep.
Right.
She really enjoys that. So, but we'll, I'm sure we'll all follow the journey and keep in touch with you guys, and then we'll probably do a follow up here in a few months to see how it's all going.
Yep.
Perfect.
Cool. Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys for coming.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you for
thanks.
having us.